out there. Thunderlips is here. In the flesh, baby.
What's up, all my Thunder Maniacs? It is Terry Marshall, aka RWK, real world known as Eric. Today on Thunder Lips, we are going to be reviewing a little show called Thunder in Paradise 2. First and foremost, right off the box, I want to thank everybody that role-played for Thunder in Paradise 2. A lot of people signed up for the Caribbean Cup, which I really did not think was going to happen. I thought, maybe like a handful of people would sign up, but then, we had 15 different people sign up for it. Of those 15, 12 of them, or 12 or 13 of them, I can't remember right off the top of my head, role-played for it, so I was pleasantly surprised by that. A lot of really close matches, hard to grade card, man. You guys made it tough on me. But also, I want to thank big thanks to all the people that helped me with matches. Peter Vaughn, Chris Page, the Malvados, Nova Sky. Thank you all for jumping in and helping with matches. It's greatly appreciated. We couldn't have done it without you guys. I wrote a couple matches, formatted everything, put it all together. Hey, I want to thank you all for that. It was a big help. We wouldn't be successful without the people that are in Thunder Pro Wrestling. Everybody that joins plays a small part. At the end, they couldn't do it without you guys. It's a fun game. We appreciate you. Hopefully, I'm doing you guys good service. So, let's get into reviewing Thunder in Paradise 2. I'm sorry if I'm not as energetic as I normally am. This spring ahead is really sucks. I'm glad they're in the daylight savings time. About time the federal government did something good. So we're ending daylight savings time, but also last week, man, we had some really nice days, like in the 70s, and today it's 30 and rainy and light cold, might snow. So it's gonna get you down a little bit, but what will get you up is this opening package of Thunder in Paradise 2. I've had a lot of people compliment it. I'm glad you guys liked it. I was putting together wondering, is anybody going to read this opening package? Is this corny? Am I wasting my time? But I tried to throw some GIFs in there and some videos to really give the feel. And apparently, it seemed to work, I'm glad everybody liked that opening package. I always like a good opening package video with a pay-per-view. And then we went straight from the opening package to a match. I know some people mention hey, why isn't there like an opening segment or an opening welcome to Thunder in Paradise? Myself, I've always been kind of a fan of it. Like, it's a pay-per-view. Like, you're hyped. You're hyped for this pay-per-view. I don't want to start out with a ring announcer talking to me. I don't want to go straight to the commentators. Like, I want to get to the ring. And I've went to some shows like this past SummerSlam. Like, you're sitting and it's hot. You got the sun beating down on you. And then, the opening pyro music hits. And then, man, that fades, and then bam, you just hit the first match music, and the crowd is ready for it. Like, you've been sitting there waiting if you're the live crowd, you're sitting there waiting. And then, bam, when it finally starts, you get a match. So, I think if you start out, this is more real world stuff, I suppose. But I think, the readers, too. The readers are waiting all day for these results. But, the live crowd, they've been sitting there all day. Like, they're hot, most likely. You've had to deal with the parking and getting into the venue. And by the time you sit down, man, you're ready for some wrestling. That's what you came for. So I like to kick it off with some wrestling on myself. Like, anytime I would just watch a pay-per-view on television and start off with, the commentators talk, I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear you guys talking for 10 minutes before I see a match. So let's kick it off hot. And we certainly kicked it off hot with the $1 million challenge between Ricky Stanton and Colton Maxim. Heck of a little opening match. Great back and forth action. Nova Sky stepped up and wrote this match for me. Big shout out to her for that. Appreciate it. Great back and forth match. In the end, Ricky Stanton got it done with that F5 Rainmaker. Won the $1 million for his charity. We're going to see Colton Maxim signs over the check and is a man of his word, or if maybe he was just saying this thinking he was going to win, not have to fork over $1 million. So we'll see what happens with that. Big win for Ricky Stanton. We'll see how he continues on his trail here in Thunder Pro, and we'll see how Colt Maxim rebounds. But great opening match here, great back and forth action. Both of them put up good role plays. It's hard to pick the winner in this one as well, but that was pretty much the theme throughout the night. It was hard to pick the winner because the role plays were all good. After that, we had a segment from Jared Reed talking about, hey, he's excited to get the opportunity, and Terry Marshall sees a lot in him, and he's going to give him a match to prove himself at Friday Night Fury. This is a good segment. This is a segment like you could see on either a television show or a pay-per-view as like a transition segment. It's a good way to introduce a fresh young wrestler, like a young wrestler, especially like a babyface, who's going to prove himself. So definitely a solid segment there. After that segment, we went to another solid match. We had Alexander Calloway and Johnny C, where the winner would receive a shot at the American Championship, whoever wins between Nova Sky and El Diablo Blanco later in the night. So we had a pretty violent brawl, really, is what this match turned out to. There was some stuff going on. Neither person role played for this match, but before it had all been discussed, Johnny C had an angle he wanted to run with. So he wanted to angle the match and let Nova Sky or Alexander Calloway win. Alexander Calloway, she had some stuff going on, in real life. I don't want to get into spreading anybody's business, but she was having some stuff going on, needed some time. So it really worked out well that they angled it for both of them. Johnny got the thing that he wanted to do. He gets his angle he wants to do. Calloway got a nice little break, mental reset, time to refresh. But this finish of this match really, sets up for both characters to come back strong. Early in the match, Johnny C busts Alexander Calloway open. Her head's up against the security railing. He super kicks her in the back of the head. Her head smacks off the security rail and just busts her head open. Vicious brawl back and forth between them. They even spilled into the crowd for a little bit. In the end, Calloway throws Johnny C outside of the ring. She's coming to get him. They're brawling on the outside. Johnny C is going to try to powerbomb her through another announce table. This time, instead of the Spanish announce table, he's going with our Japanese announce table. Never seen any Japanese announce tables. Maybe if we had some Japanese announcers, some live Japanese announce tables, we'd do a little bit better in Japan. Hey, WWE. But anyways, Alexander Calloway, she gets loose, but then she's starting to kick Johnny C's butt, and she's thinking, oh no, I'm going to put you through the table, Johnny C. When Johnny C hits her with a television monitor, disqualification. Then Johnny C hits referee Dizzy Dan with the television monitor as well. There's got to be fines and suspensions levied against Johnny C. It's just uncalled for. You can't, shoving a referee, punching a referee. You might be able to get by with just a fine, but you're going to hit a referee with a television monitor. You're probably going to get some fines for that. Now, these are flat screens, so it's a little bit easier to grip, but that makes it easier to swing. So he sit both Calloway and Dizzy Dan with the television monitor. Then he puts Calloway on the Spanish announce, the Japanese announce table. Then Johnny goes to the top rope, frog splashes from the top rope to the outside. Frog splashes Alexander Calloway through the announce table. Both people were hurt. We got medics that got to run out and check on them, get them all taken care of, and then we go to another segment. This segment is a little hype, little preview of our next pay-per-view, which will be May 19th. It's going to be Retro Mania. I guess I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag here. For Retro Mania, we're going to do some time traveling. No, I don't just mean it's going to be 80s themed, it's going to be old school themed. I mean we're getting in whatever contraption you want to use. We can get into a phone booth. I'm talking Bill and Ted. I'm not talking a TARDIS. We can get into a DeLorean. We can get into whatever kind of contraption you want to use. And the TPW roster will be traveling back to the 1980s for Retromania from the Charlotte Coliseum, a huge classic venue from the 80s. And there's going to be some more surprises for this event. We're going to have a lot of 80s theme matches. We'll have some other surprises with that. But that's in May. Let's get back to where we're at right now. Thunder in Paradise 2. So, up next was the Caribbean Cup. This thing was hard to judge, man. Like, I had to be real particular about this. You know, I'm normally not a big grammar guy. I'm putting grammar in here. I'm putting spacing. I'm trying to do everything I can to determine a winner. Top five, Marcus. I'm going to say the last name, Decarian, wrong. I'm sure I said that wrong. So we got Marcus. This is top five, no particular order, by the way. JC Phoenix, Buster Gloves, Larry Tact, and CJ O'Donnell came down to the last five. There were a few outsiders, right on the outside of that top five. Trey Bouchette, I probably said that last name wrong too. Really enjoyed his work, man. I'd like to see him come to Thunder Pro Wrestling. Billy Bush, I enjoyed his work too. I feel like with more room to let that character breathe, it could definitely develop into something entertaining. Billy Bush, if you're listening, wouldn't mind if you stuck around Thunder Pro either, man. I'll probably hit you up personally and invite you. But hey, if either one of you guys are interested, there's definitely a spot for you in Thunder Pro Wrestling. I really appreciate everybody that role played for this match. It was very tough. But in the end, it came down to JC Phoenix and Marcus Decarian. Once again, I'm sure I said that wrong. I apologize, Marcus. I know there was some, this was kind of rushed. I was trying to get everything posted by 6 p.m. because, look, after 6 p.m. on Fridays, I try not to get on the internet. I got my, I'll, check my phone every once in a while, see if there's any, important messages. But I'm really, not around much after Friday night. After Friday night and during the weekend, it's family time. So, a long time ago, before I even ran Thunder Pro, I ran a Fed. What got me out of e-fetting for a while was my daughter was saying, "Hey, Daddy, play with me." I'm saying, "Oh, hang on, baby, I got to finish this first." And I'm working on results for an e-fed, and I said, "Oh, man, this ain't happening again." So, after 6 p.m. on Friday, like I said, it's going to be till Monday morning if you really want to get a hold of me. But, anyways, I appreciate the Malvado stepping up, writing this for me. The ending was a little bit rushed for him. I understand, but hey, it happens, man. Like, at the end of the day, he's doing something for everybody in the community, everybody in the game, everybody in the match for free. Appreciate everything that he does. And then Marcus came down. I know it says CJ eliminated CJ, so it looks like CJ O'Donnell eliminated himself. CJ O'Donnell eliminated CJ O'Donnell. But CJ O'Donnell was eliminated by JC Phoenix. Coming down to Marcus and JC Phoenix. Marcus wound up pulling it out. It's a tough call. But Marcus wound up winning out. And then Jamaica's own Usain Bolt is there to present the Caribbean Cup to Marcus. Wouldn't that be cool, man? You run a show in Jamaica and Usain Bolt's there to give you the title. I bet that gets a huge pop. All right, so after that, we had our after that, we had another segment. I apologize if the person sent this segment in because this person, somebody that I personally invited, and they have accepted. And I think it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a slow burn for this person. An ominous and mysterious segment about a flag being planted in the middle of the ring, just the letter S on it. So, are they spelling out a word that they want us to know? Does their name start with S? what's going on here. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a slow burn. I think people will be surprised at who it is. I know this person from a couple different feds I've been in with him. Very good role player. So it's going to be interesting to see him come in and see what they do here. After that, we had our American Championship match between Nova Sky and El Diablo Blanco. Nova put up a good role play for this. I have to go back and send her the whole grade because honestly, El Diablo didn't show up. He told me, he's just super busy and he hasn't had time really to work on segments, let alone write role plays. So, that he's going to try to make it, but I hadn't heard from him about a month now. So, I get that. No hard feelings. LD's family man. Things happen. You got to put your family in real life first. Absolutely no hard feelings there. If he ever wants to come back, he's more than welcome. Nova Sky, I will get you a full report on that for you. I'll probably already send it to you by the time you hear this. But anyways, Nova Sky wrote a very good role play. It's a story that I'm normally not going to read a fantasy, a story like that with, witchcraft and that kind of stuff. That's just not normally my kind of thing. It interests me, but it was very well written. It's something you can see playing out. Very, very good job. And guys, if you write a genre that I'm not super into, if you write it well and you can get my attention with it, it's not going to hurt you at all. If you can get me wanting to read something interesting, something I normally don't want to read, then that's really good, actually. So Nova Sky defeats El Diablo Blanco. Big shout out to Peter Vaughn for writing this match for us. So Nova Sky picks up the win. Glows Supernova. She is now the American champion. And we know that one of the matches now that we will have at Retromania, unless these two girls just want to hook it up earlier for some reason, but at Retromania, we already have our first match booked. We got American champion Nova Sky going up against number one contender Alexandra Calloway for the American Championship. Is going down at Retromania. Should be a great match. The two best women in Thunder Pro really are going to go at it for the American Championship. It's going to be really interesting. After that, we had a match that is very near and dear to my heart. It is the Hurricane Hustle. Hurricane Hustle is always one of my favorite matches. The Hurricane Hustle match of Season 1 was my favorite match all year of Season 1. You get 6 people, 3 tag teams, and a ladder match. That's pretty cool. You're going to see some crazy stuff. But then you throw in these giant fans that can produce wind speeds up to 125 miles per hour. It's craziness. You got to break those fans or unplug them. Very brutal match, man. You got everybody busted up. Definitely the bloodiest night in Thunder Pro Wrestling history, for sure. As, Buster Gloves, Hector Malvado, all of them were bleeding in this match. I can't remember if one of the Dawsons were bleeding or not, right off the top of my head. But, great match here. Very brutal. I thought it was great anyways. Somebody tell me if they thought it was great or not. I appreciate that feedback on the OOC boards. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. But yeah, this is my favorite match of the night. Just because you're going to see such crazy stuff that happens in this. Larry Tack got maced. People got put through ladders. People got dropped on their heads. People got busted open. But at the end of the night, Hector Malvado, they got his mask ripped open and his head busted open. He retrieved the Duos Championships. And the Malvados retained the Thunder Pro Duos Championships. This is a big win for the Malvados. I think it really validates the Malvados. A lot of people have questioned, are you guys really that strong in Duos champions? The Malvado lost to Buster Gloves. So, people may question them, but I think it's a big win for the Malvados. Very validating for them. And hey, that's a big boost of momentum headed into the S.E.X Cup. where the TVW duo titles will be on the line anytime the champions are in the ring. Then after that, we have our main event of the evening. We have Chris Page and Peter Vaughn. Put together a little written out video segment before this. I think those are really cool. You know, you get a hype segment for a match before it comes on, hyping up Chris Page and Peter Vaughn, just everything that's been going on through them, their histories here in Thunder Pro. I think it kind of gives it a real feeling. So, you know, hopefully they like that. Hopefully the readers like it too. Then we have the match itself, 30-minute Iron Man match. I want to shout out to Chris Page. He said, hey, you know, when he said he wanted to face one, he said, I want to write the match, I want to make it epic. I said, okay, you know, that's fine. I said, send it to me with it being tied, one fall apiece, and 5 minutes left in the match, and I'll finish it off. So, you know, he sent me 25 minutes of a stellar match, and I put in the last 5 minutes. You know, man, this was super, super close. This match was so close I had to consult, you know, an outside judge who is not part of Thunder Pro, never been in Thunder Pro. But, you know, they're familiar with Thunder Pro. They know the Thunder Pro rules, formatting style. So I had to consult an outside judge. And at the end of the match, you know, seconds are taken away out of desperate, because the stipulation is if it's tied, Peter Vaughn is stripped of the title. So he thinks that Chris Page and Peter Vaughn are just going to phone it in. So out of desperation, Peter Vaughn hits a German suplex after two referees have been knocked out. 1, 2, 3, but Chris Page got his arm up. Peter Vaughn wasn't bridged. Chris Page wins, gets the fall, and is the new international champion. Peter Vaughn's the only international champion we've ever had, so it's really a big deal. It's going to be real interesting how he reacts after losing. The Chris Page era of Thunder Pro has begun. I want to see what Chris Page is going to have to do to hold on to that. And Chris Page is going to find out who his opponent for WrestleMania is going to be the next Friday Night Fury. And we're about to review that Friday Night Fury card right now. All right, so after that, we're heading to Friday Night Fury. This is the first Friday Night Fury post Thunder in Paradise 2, and also the first Friday Night Fury to be part of the S.E.X Cup. That's right, we got some big matches in that, but let's start at the beginning, because that's where you should always start, at the beginning. Match 1, we got Jared Reed making his debut against Sammy G. Sammy G is one half of the Party Bros, some of the original enhancement talent of Thunder Pro Wrestling. Jared Reed's going to look to debut. Looks like, you know, a first-round draft pick, top 10 draft pick athlete. Now, the question is he going to live up to that first-round draft pick status, or is he going to be a Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf bust? My bet is that he's not going to be a Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf. My bet is that this kid's going to be a stud, and he's going to mop the floor with Sammy G, one half of the Party Bros. Then after that, we have our first segment of the night, as we hear from the new American champion, Nova Sky. Only the third ever American champion in the history of Thunder Pro Wrestling. Also, interesting fact, first female to hold singles gold in Thunder Pro Wrestling. One half of the duos champions was Amber Bain, Mac, honestly, I can't remember. I apologize, Amber, if you ever hear this, or to Mac Bain, her kayfabe husband. She's a great writer, honestly. But anyways, we were talking about Nova Sky, who is a great writer as well, and also is currently the brand new Thunder Pro American champion. She's going to have something to say. Not 100% sure what it's going to be, but she's definitely going to have something interesting to say. Now, after we hear from the new champion, we got our second match, another singles contest. There's a lot of matches on this show, I'll be honest. Didn't really think it ahead, but I'm going to try to fit fit them all in there. Well, not try. We're definitely going to fit them all in there. But try to make them all entertaining for you guys. But we'll have S.E.X taking on Volcane. Am I saying that correctly? Volcane. Whatever. Dude's pick base is Glenn Danzig, so he's automatically over with me. But anyways, Volcane looks to make his debut against S.E.X. S.E.X, man, you see the dude all over the place. I don't know how successful he is other places. He's kind of floundered here in Thunder Pro Wrestling. I record these on Monday. He's already posted his role play. Speaking of recording these on Monday, well, anyways, he already posted his role play. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how Volcane does. You know, I'm not making any prejudgments. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll see what Volcane brings to the table. If I'm saying that wrong, please correct me, Volcane. But this should be interesting. You know, Volcane, Handler said, he used to play the game a lot. He's been out for a while, so he's going to be rusty. S.E.X, man, he's everywhere, so he's going to be sharp. It's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting for sure. After that, we're going to have us another segment, this time by the pretty man himself, Pretty Ricky Stanton. Ricky Stanton's probably going to have a lot to say after taking out Colton Maxim. That is, that's a big win. That's $1 million win. That win was worth $1 million. Actually, I guess it's technically worth $2 million, because not only did Ricky Stanton save $1 million of his own dollars, he didn't have to give up his money. He got $1 million of Colton Maxim's money. So, hey, it's that old saying, penny earned, or penny saved is a penny earned, something like that. So we'll see what Pretty Ricky Stanton has to say after a big win at Thunder in Paradise 2. Then we have a triple threat match. We've got Mud with 1D, even though looking at the card I spelled it with 2 Ds. I apologize, Mud. I knew it was 1D, and I accidentally put 2 Ds here. This is like a running gag or something, but it's a gag on me. I apologize. I'm going to get this fixed here, so by the time you hear this, it'll just be 1D. We got Mudmouth against Rose, big, strong woman. He's putting out solid work. Mudmouth himself is putting out solid work. And then in there, we got J.C. Phoenix. Now, J.C. Phoenix, he's coming with a chip on his shoulder. All 3 of these people were in the Caribbean Cup. But J.C. Phoenix made it to the final 2. And, he kind of, he slipped up at the end, and Marcus DeCarian wound up winning, as we all know. Man, it was a close call, really. Could have went about either way, really. It was super tough to judge all that and handle all that. So, J.C. Phoenix is going to be looking to bounce back. Mudmouth and Rose are going to be looking to prove themselves. Big things are going to come to the person that wins this match. It's going to definitely move you up in the rankings, for one. But also, I got a little something in the works I'm planning on looking at. I don't want to make an official announcement because it depends on how some things shake out, what we do, honestly. So, but this could definitely have a bright future ahead of it for the winner of this match. Obviously, you win a match, you got a bright future. Move up in the rankings, get some points, make your name bigger. So we'll see how that works out. Then after that, give me 1 second. I got some crazy lady driving beside me, not using her turn signals and driving fast. All right, after that, we've got a segment from the Malvados. The Malvados won a Hurricane Hustle. They retained the duos titles, and as such, there are 15 teams in the S.E.X Cup tournament. And the Malvados get a first round bye because they are the duos champions in the the TPW. Tag team titles will be on the line throughout the entire tournament. So they're going to get a first round break, a first round reprieve to heal up, get better, regroup themselves, little champions advantage. They get the first round bye. What are they going to have to say? Are they going to have a fiesta to celebrate their victory? Are they going to rid themselves of their animalistic mutations that they went through to prepare for the Hurricane Hustle? Are they going to be hoarding their gold like Gollum? We're going to see. I'm sure it'll be something very interesting, and I'm sure they will address the S.E.X Cup. But then again, I can't make any bets because it could be wrong. After that, we have our first match of the S.E.X Cup. Now, these brackets were randomly drawn, so they're not in order from like first seed to second seed. We had some people that opted in for this week that are in the tournament, so I went ahead and just put their matches in here. So the first match we have of the S.E.X Cup, our opening contest match, is going to be the Dream Weavers. Dream Weaver, I believe we can make it through the tournament. And I think I just lost every listener with that little solo right there. Well, we got the Dream Weavers taking on Boomer Shooters. Man, okay, Boomer. This would be pretty interesting, honestly. I don't know anything about the Boomer Shooters, I'll be honest. I only know something about one member of Dream Weavers. Dream Weavers was a makeshift tag team. They kind of, Brooke Bakley was like, hey, I need a tag team partner. Anybody want to be my tag team partner? And Junko said, hey, I'll be your tag team partner. Now, they told me we don't know each other. Like, we've never really met before. We just saw each other on the internet looking for a partner. And I said, hey, I'll be your partner. So we got a makeshift tag team, the Dream Weavers. Will they live the dream and make it out of the first round against the Boomer Shooters? I'm going to go ahead and say Boomer Shooters are going to have the experience advantage. They have the name Boomer in there. Back in their day, you didn't just look for a tag team partner for a tournament. You already had a tag team partner. But hey, you know what? Maybe Dream Weavers will be the Nikita Koloff and Dusty Rhodes of this tournament. That's a Boomer phrase right there for you. But maybe the Boomer Shooters will use their experience that they have on their side to make it out of the first round. Now, after that, we have another segment from Johnny C. Now, Johnny friggin' C has officially been suspended due to his after-match antics at Thunder in Paradise 2. And Johnny C cannot return to Thunder Pro Wrestling until he has completed anger management. Now, is this going to be like the same type of anger management we saw with Jack Nicholson? I kind of hope so, because that move was really funny. I haven't heard anybody talk about it in a long time. But I'm sure Johnny C's going to come up with something, great. Johnny's really looking for a way to come up with a story to develop his character. And this is the idea he came up with. And then I hope it's entertaining. I'm sure it will be. So we'll see how the first round of anger management goes for Johnny. After that, we have another match. We have Critical Hit against VLI. VLI, I don't really know anything about them. I'm going to say that VLI stands for Very Late Entrant, even though I know entrant doesn't start with an I, but you got to work with what you got, people, and work with me here. So VLI was the last team to opt in. I had set the opt-in deadline for 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. I woke up Monday morning at like 7:30 a.m. and had a message from him like, hey, I know it's past the deadline, but can I opt in? I said, you know what? Sure, that's going to be great. So VLI, our last entrant, they're out to prove that they may have entered last, but they certainly aren't the least in the team. And they're taking on Critical Hit. Now, Critical Hit, man, they came real close to capturing those duos titles. And I mean, honestly, Buster Glove and Larry Tack are good. They came real close to winning the Caribbean Cup, too. Those guys were frog's hair of, winning something, winning some sort of hardware, they could have won the Caribbean Cup and the tag team titles. It was real close. It was that close. They're going to have something to prove. They're coming in this tournament with a chip on their shoulder, coming in to prove themselves. I don't really know a whole lot about VLI, I'll be honest with you. It's going to be tough for them to beat the Critical Hit, but, on any given Sunday, as they say, or I guess here in Thunder Pro, on any given Friday, anybody can beat anybody. So we'll see how it turns out. It should be interesting contest for sure. After that, we'll probably have another segment, honestly. We do. It's from me, Terry Marshall. Terry Marshall just got some things to talk about, man. Boss man's riding high after that very successful first pay-per-view. I'm sure we're going to have something to say, like I said. Kicking around some ideas, not making an official announcement. Maybe that'll be my official announcement. Who knows? We'll see. After that, we've got our main event match of Friday Night Fury. Man, this is a stellar tournament match. We got the young and goated Tyler Cage and James Raven against the Show Stealers. Man, I'll be honest, This is something I could see in the semifinals or the finals of this tournament. Show Stealers are the WGWF Tag Team Champions. I don't know a whole lot about Tyler Cage, but I know his tag team partner is James Raven, and James Raven is one of the best players this game I've ever seen. Dude's an excellent rider. So we're going to see how this turns out for him. It's going to be a crazy first round match. This match was definitely deserving of the main event spot. So that's why it's the main event match. And, you know, this is a big money first round match right here. So we're going to see how it turns out. Really, man, it can go either way. So, you know, this will be a tough one to grade. I'm sure all these matches will be tough to grade, honestly. But this one, man, it's gonna be real good. I'm sure it'll be real close, real tight. After that, we've got the closing segment of the show. It's going to be Chris Page's coronation ceremony. Now, Chris Page is the only person. Well, all right, Peter Vaughn has only lost one match ever in Thunder Pro Wrestling, and that was to Robert Maine. And if you guys know who Robert Maine is, you know that's not a huge shocker. Robert Maine was a great writer. He didn't always fit the style of Thunder Pro Wrestling, as the storytelling style. He was a great writer. I don't know whatever happened to him. I know he just kind of left the game. I know he's got some friends out there. I know Paige is friends with him. I know Theo from XWF is friends with him. Dude was a cool dude. I would like to see him back, honestly. Even if it's not in Thunder Pro Wrestling, if he just came back to XWF, I'm sure, a guy like that's good for the game. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Robert Maine. We're here to talk about Chris Page. Or at least this part we're talking about Chris Page. Chris Page is going to have a coronation ceremony. What's going to happen in this coronation ceremony is, he already had his coming out party like Elsa when he came out at Thunder in Paradise 2. But now that I think about it, Elsa also had the coronation ceremony. So I guess we're getting double Elsa. Sorry, Anna. No Anna time for you today. So Chris Page is going to have this coronation ceremony. What's going to happen with this? Is it just going to be popping bubbly and a little drink of the bubbly for the champion? Or is Peter Vaughn going to come out and say something to him? Is Terry Marshall going to come out and say something to him? Is whoever the next challenger going to be come out and say something to him? Or is it just going to be one big CCPE party? You're just going to have to tune in to find out. Maybe a little bit of all of them. Who knows? Maybe Chris Page is hungover in Jamaica. Maybe he's at WGWF. Maybe he's at the Velveteen Rabbit or whatever. Velvet Rabbit, right? All right. So, anyways, we're gonna see what happens there. Thunder in Paradise 2 I'm super proud of how it turned out. Once again, a big thank you to everybody that helped with Thunder in Paradise, to Peter Vaughn, to the Malvados, Nova Sky, for Chris Page, stepping up and helping me write it. Wouldn't have got it out like that if it wasn't for you guys. You guys allowed me to weave everything together, write some opening segments, write the other matches, write the endings for a couple things. I really appreciate your help. Obviously, if we didn't have people playing this game, we wouldn't be open. If we didn't have people help me out, man, it'd be difficult to do all alone. I just want to thank everybody that role-played, man. Everybody that came into the Caribbean Cup. I don't know if you guys are hearing this or not. But if you are, I appreciate every single person that's not in Thunder Pro that came out and entered the Caribbean Cup. I appreciate every single person that's in Thunder Pro and role-plays. Look, man, I'm an open book. I'm an open door. If you guys ever want to know anything about Thunder Pro, just hit me up and ask me. I'll answer you. I'm a pretty level-headed guy. Pretty even kid. If you need anything, man, you want to know what's going on, you're upset, just talk to me. But just come correct if you're upset about something. I've been there before. I've lost, been upset. Just take a deep breath, man. Because at the end of the day, it's just a game, guys. We're just having fun. And I'm not saying this because nobody came to me hot. Just saying, I understand. Really, I just thank you guys. Looking forward to the tag team tournament, the S.E.X Cup, trying to make it the E-Fed Crockett Cup. I think it's going to be big. I think it's going to be awesome, man. I'm really surprised by how many people joined. We got 15 teams. That's 30 people. Maybe not 30, but, you don't see a whole lot of tag teams ran by the same person. So I want to thank everybody that that signed up for it, man. I just want to thank everybody who's been a part of Thunder Pro Wrestling, if you're part now or part in the past. I just thank you guys. Looking forward to getting this tournament going. Another great pay-per-view. All right, everybody. Peace out.